Good morning.
Good day.
How are you this beautiful day? Isn't this a beautiful morning?
Very.
Hey, Sheepos, how's this?
That's an awfully elegant pose, but is all that elegance necessary?
Then why not? I represent Marichex, don't I? We're not a butcher shop or a hardware store. We're a perfumery. That means we're
stylish.
That's it.
With a quiet dignity.
Yes, and we get the tilt of our hats right.
That's right.
When I ride my bike, people see what Marichex like, so I think it's very important that I look my best.
And how many people did you run over today?
Not one.
Well, it's early.
Here comes Miss Ritter.
Oh?
She spent the night with Mr. Kodai.
Again?
They always kiss goodbye at the newsstand, then she walks around the block to make us think she's been home.
Good morning.
Good day.
How are you this glorious day? Have you seen a lovelier morning?
Never.
Oh, it's too nice a day to be inside shuffling soap. I have no more energy whatsoever. Anybody mind if I take the day off? Arpad, why aren't you old enough to take me away from all this?
I'm old enough.
Well, then marry me, and I'll quit my job. No, I'm afraid you're not really quite old enough.
It won't be long, though. I'm catching up. You know, Miss Horvath always used to say I'd get to be 35 before you ever did.
Ah, Mr. Kodai. Good morning. Good day.
How are you this radiant day? What a rare, magnificent morning.
Is it?
Good morning, my dear. How are you this ravishing day? Do you know you've never looked more exquisite?
Thank you, kind sir.
What a lovely dress.
The same one she had on yesterday, Mr. Kodai.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Novak.
Oh, good morning.
Good day.
Isn't that a beautiful sky? What a perfect sample of summer weather. It's too nice a day to be indoors counting out change. What a waste of holiday weather. All together, let's all run away.
Oh, wouldn't it be something if we all took off from work?
Leaving Mr. Maricheck without a single clerk.
Why not have a picnic?
I could bring my wife's preserves.
Champagne might be nice with hot hors.
It's too nice.
It's too nice. We stuck inside of a store. We could all be getting our suntan. Suntan.
It's so nice.
It's so nice to be dozing under a tree.
And we'll all be out of a job.
If it costs that much to get suntanned.
I'll stay untanned.
Pale but solvent.
A picnic.
A picnic.
Oh, well.
Well, Mr. Novak, was the chicken the usual success?
What?
Last night, your weekly dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Maricheck.
Oh, right.
Did you talk to Mr. Maricheck about replacing Miss Horvath?
Oh, I mentioned it. Absolutely not. After all, with business the way it's been.
Yes, but it's bound to pick up now that Hammerschmidt's is closed.
Did you ever try their hand cream? I wonder if it's any good.
Good. My dear woman, my wife, has been using their products for years. In fact, I've often wondered why theirs are always so much better than everyone else's.
You should know, Mr. Maricheck.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. Maricheck. Good to see you.
Morning,
Mr. Maricheck.
morning.
Good morning.
Good day.
Good day, madam. May I help you?
Good day, madam. May I help you?
Good day, madam. May I help you?
I would like to see
Face like yours.
Cracked.
But we carry.
Do you have a cream for
Cherry red skin.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You look enchanting.
my lips?
Glamorous as Garbo.
Big
Mouth
But I would recommend a
bath
today.
On sale, did you say?
Put a little lipstick
on your nose.
twice.
Morning and evening.
And a little brush for
Combing my
teeth.
Absolutely.
Wrap it up and send it. Thank you so much.
Is there something else before you go?
Yes.
What have I forgotten?
I know there was something else.
There is something I've forgotten. I remember it. My husband really doesn't matter. I could also use a
Bottle of hair.
We have a splendid.
Here's an inexpensive perfume called
Rat.
I've never used one.
If you want to clip your
earlobes.
You may want to dye your
hangnails,
Dab a little on your
husband's face.
Won't he be surprised?
I would like an eyebrow.
Under my chin.
There's an idea.
Madam, I am filled with
very soft
Soap.
That should do it. Wrap it up and charge it. Thank you so much.
Always such a pleasure seeing you. Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again, madam. Did you see that? It looks like business is picking up.
Ladislav, I got another letter today.
From her.
It's so beautiful, I've got to read it to you.
Did she enclose a snapshot this time? Did she say anything about meeting you face to face?
Well, we're going to very soon, but just listen to this. Dear friend, yesterday morning, I ran through the rain to the post office. I had the key in my hand, the key to box 1433, trembling. I opened the door and reached inside, and oh, my dear friend, there you were. I took you out, held you in my hand, and looked at you for a moment. Then I sat down, gently opened you, and read you.
Mr. Seapost,
Yes, sir.
could you spare me one of your stomach pills?
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
Thank you. You know whose fault this is.
No, sir.
Yours.
Mine?
Every time you come to dinner, Mrs. Marichek tries to fatten you up. She has the cook make dumplings and cream gravy, and what happens? You stay slim, and I get heartburn.
Well, I'm very sorry, sir.
But George, it's time you were married. Haven't you had enough of living in furnished rooms and running around to cabarets and dance halls?
Mr. Marichek, I haven't been to a dance hall in years.
Oh, I know what you bachelors are like. Remember, I was once one myself, and what a bachelor. Young, strong. Oh, I was something in days gone by. With some girl who just happened to catch my eye. Slim, straight, light on my feet, shoes just skimming the ground. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, follow the beat. Around, around, around. All night, circling the floor till dawn lit up the sky. No one younger than I in days gone by. But then I met Mrs. Marichek, and ever since I danced only with her. I bet you think that's incredible.
Oh, Mrs. Marichek is a beautiful woman.
Young, strong. Oh, I was something in days gone by.
Well, the fact is, I'm a terrible dancer.
With some girl who just happened to catch my eye.
I can do it with my hands.
Slim, straight, light on my feet.
I've always had trouble with my feet.
Shoes just skimming the ground. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, follow the beat. Around, around. Miss Ritter!
and go back to
Mr. Novak.
Spin me around and go back 2, 3, back 2, 3.
Very good, George.
That's it, George.
All night, circling the floor till dawn lit up the sky. No one younger than I in days gone by.
Thank you, George.
Take my advice, George. Find yourself one person to dance with. Believe me, it's not necessary to change partners every night.
Mr. Marichek.
Or even every other night. You just think it's necessary. Well, here they are.
What?
It's a little surprise for you.
Oh, what is it?
It's a genuine leather box that... Wait. Listen. Isn't that lovely? Well, here, you try it.
What else does it do?
What do you mean, what else? It's a genuine leather musical cigarette box, and only 10 and 6. How's that for a bargain?
But who's going to buy it?
Oh, I can see you're in a difficult mood today. Let's ask some of the other people around here, get their honest opinion. Mr. Kodai.
Yes, sir.
Will it sell?
Well, I can't imagine why not, sir. I'd even go further. I think this will make music lovers out of cigarette smokers and cigarette smokers out of music lovers.
Thank you, Mr. Kodai.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, George. I'll make you a bet. I'll bet you 10 and 6 we sell the first of these boxes within 1 hour.
I don't want to take your money, sir.
Oh, 10 and 6, 1 hour, no more, no less. Is it a bet?
Well, I think that'd be very irresponsible.
He's not so confident now.
Oh, it's a bet.
Oh, you will pay through the nose. You will pay through the nose. Well, good day, madam. May I help you?
I'd like a large tube of Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa cold cream, certainly, madam. Isn't that a lovely melody?
Is 7 and 4 the largest size, or is there a larger?
We also have a 9 and 6.
I'd like to see it.
This is a musical cigarette box.
Do you carry flowers of spring in the 1 ounce bottle?
The 1 ounce bottle, certainly. Mr. Sipos, your customer.
Yes, sir, over here, madam.
Good day, madam. May I help you?
Who do I see about returning a jar of sour face cream?
Mr. Kodai, your customer.
Right this way, madam.
Good day, madam. May I help you?
No. Oh, yes.
We have a complete stock of perfumes, soap, shampoos,
No.
bath oils, bath salts,
No.
cold creams, face creams, nail polishes,
No.
brushes, hard, soft, and medium.
Woo, no.
Toilet water. We have a special this week only on roses of Italy. Here, I'll show it to you.
Thursday? Good, I'll stop by for it.
Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again, madam. Let me spray a little on your hand.
No.
No.
Actually, you see, I'm not going to buy any. Not today. I'm not going to buy anything. Is Mr. Marichek here?
He's in the back room.
Oh, may I speak with him, please?
Perhaps I can help you?
I don't think so.
Well, he's quite busy.
Then I'll wait. I don't mind, really. I'll just sit right here, quietly, and wait till he's free.
May I ask the nature of your business?
I think I better speak with Mr. Marichek personally.
Very well. May I have your name, please?
Bolish. Amalia Bolish.
Very well, Miss Bolish. I'll tell him you're here.
Just one thing. Miss Horvath, who used to work here, the one who's having a baby, she hasn't been replaced yet, has she?
Are you looking for a job?
I guess you could call it that, yes. Well, I'm a very good sales girl, really, very good. And I know the perfumery business inside and out. I worked at Hammerschmidt's 5 years. 5 years and 8 months, and they were always very satisfied with me. I have a letter here from Mr. Hammerschmidt himself. It's somewhere here. It says Miss Bolish is honest, dependable, dedicated. Oh, dedicated. It is here somewhere. She also has an abundance of those qualities which go toward making a superior salesperson. I highly recommend her. Signed, Herman Hammerschmidt. Oh, here. Ugh.
Well, I'm sure it's just as you say, but unfortunately, we are not replacing Miss Horvath right now, so if you wouldn't mind leaving your name.
Bolish. Amalia Balish.
Right! And if anything should come up,
I'd like to speak to Mr. Marichek, please.
I'm afraid if it's only about a job,
Please.
I'm sorry, it just can't be done.
What can't be done? At Marichek's, nothing is impossible. Perhaps I can help you.
She wants a job.
What?
I know this business inside and out. I worked at Hammersmith.
I'm sorry.
I have a letter here from Mr. Hammersmith
It's
himself.
out of the
I am
question.
honest, dependable,
Oh,
dedicated.
really, George? Can't you handle this sort of thing without calling me in?
I'm a very good salesgirl.
If you will excuse me.
No, really, I am. I'm very good. Aren't these marvelous boxes? And only 10 and 6, can you imagine?
What are they for?
Candy.
Candy?
Why, yes, madam. It's the latest thing. And just look at the workmanship.
A musical candy box?
Why, certainly, madam. It combines the 3 elements of good taste. Attractive to the eye, attractive to the ear, and functional.
How functional?
How? Well, let me tell you. This little box has been a lifesaver to many, many women with a slight tendency to overweight. And don't we all? We sit at home reading a good book or listening to a symphony, and without even realizing it, our hand slips into the candy box. We become indiscreet, eating sweet after sweet, though we know all too well where that may lead. So this box was designed with the 2 of us in mind as the kind of reminder we need. When you raise the lid, the music plays like a disapproving nod, and it sings in your ear, no more candy, my dear. In a way, it's a little like the voice of God.
I'll take it.
Thank you, madam.
Could you step right over here, please? That'll be 3 and 8 for the large jar of face cream.
And 10 and 6 for the box. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
You're hired, Miss
Balish. Amalia Balish.
Balish. Welcome to Marichek's. And now, Mr. Novak, if you please.
14 and 4, 14 and 5, 15.
Your packages, madam.
Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again, madam. Dear friend, when a day brings petty aggravations and my poor frayed nerves are all askew, I forget these unimportant matters, pouring out my hopes and dreams to you. As I rest my pen and look around me, I can see the summer disappear. Oh, dear friend, all at once, autumn's here.
Good morning, Miss Ritter.
Good morning, our pal.
Look! Autumn.
Good morning, Alona. Here you are on this first October day, the quintessence of autumn. I do hope you've forgiven me about our little misunderstanding last night. I just can't bear it when we quarrel. Can you, darling, truthfully?
Go to hell.
Dear friend, with November just around the corner, I've a feeling you may also share. Do you feel an undertone of discord and a sense of tension in the air?
Mr. Novak, must this sidewalk always be covered with leaves?
No, sir, but Mr. Marichek. Mr. Marichek! If it weren't for your endearing letters, I'd be flying south with all the geese. By the way, have you read War and Peace?
Good morning, Mr. Novak.
Ah, I see you're on time today, Miss Bolish. Congratulations.
So sorry to disappoint you.
Oh, but I'm not disappointed, far from it. Let's just call it surprised.
They always argue. Why is that?
Simple chemical reaction. You see, sometimes when two people like each other very
They
much.
like each other?
I think so.
They like each other very much? Well, don't you think we should tell them?
Arpad, my boy, they'd never believe us.
Oh, look! Winter.
Dear friend, have you set your calendar for Tuesday? When we bring this chapter to a close, when I meet my lady of the letters, who puts tiny faces in her O's.
In the freezing weather of December, I'll be warmly waiting for our date. Until then, count the hours. Oh, I'm late for work. I'm late. Good morning.
Morning.
Am I very late?
No.
Did Mr. Novak say anything?
No.
Where is he?
In the workroom.
No.
Oh, you're all new. The shoes, the dress, the hat.
Oh, stop about him. I'm surprised you recognize me. Do I look all right?
Oh, lovely, wonderful, very nice.
Yes, very nice. Yes.
It took me 3 hours to get dressed. That's why I'm so late.
I have a feeling our little Miss Balish must be in love, and you have a rendezvous with him this evening.
How do you know?
Oh, Mr. Kodai's an expert on love, which is really quite remarkable, considering he's never been in it.
Good morning, Miss Bolish.
He didn't yell at me. What's wrong with him?
Oh, he has other things on his mind. Mr. Marichek's very upset.
He is. Again.
And you know who gets the worst of it.
Mr. Novak,
Yes, sir.
you see this?
Yes.
You know what it is.
Of course, it's a tube of Mona Lisa cold cream.
Here, let's see you try it.
It came out the back.
I was under the impression it was your responsibility to see that these tubes are correctly filled. If that responsibility is too much for you, Mr. Novak, or is there something wrong with the tubes? Are they defective?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Then it wouldn't be asking too much for the cream to come out the right end.
No, it would not be asking too much.
Thank you, Mr. Novak. That's all I wanted to know.
George, your coat. There's still Mona Lisa on it.
Thank you, Ladislav.
You're so nervous. I can feel you vibrating.
It's a new suit. I've never worn it to work before.
Oh? What's the occasion?
The biggest ever. I'm meeting her tonight.
The letter girl. You mean face to face at last?
Face to face at last?
Well, I just hope she lives up to your expectations.
Can I tell you something, Ladislav? I hope she doesn't. I mean, I hope she's not as beautiful as I think she is, or as brilliant as I think she is, because then what will she think of me? A very ordinary clerk in a very ordinary shop and a terrible liar.
A liar?
The things I wrote in those letters.
You lied? No wonder you're vibrating.
I'm nervous and upset because this girl I've never met, I get to meet tonight at 8. I'm taking her to dinner at a charming old cafe, but who can eat tonight at 8? It's early in the morning and our date is not till 8 o'clock tonight, and yet already I can see what a nightmare this whole day will be. I haven't slept a wink, I only think of our approaching tete-a-tete tonight at 8. I feel a combination of depression and elation. What a state to wait till 8. 3 more minutes, 2 more seconds, 10 more hours to go. In spite of all I've written, she may not be very smitten, and my hopes perhaps may all collapse kaput tonight at 8. I wish I knew exactly how I'll act and what will happen when we dine tonight at 8. I know I'll drop the silverware, but will I spill the water or the wine? Tonight at 8. Tonight I'll walk right up and sit right down beside the smartest girl in town, and then it's anybody's guess. More and more I'm breathing less and less. In my imagination I can hear our conversation taking shape. Tonight at 8. I'll sit there saying absolutely nothing, or I'll jabber like an ape. Tonight at 8. 2 more minutes, 3 more seconds, 10 more hours to go. I'll know when this is done, if something's ended or begun, and if it goes alright, who knows, I might propose tonight at 8.
I love Christmas wrapping.
Oh, it certainly is a pleasant change. You know, for the past month, I've done practically nothing but fill those darn tubes of Mona Lisa.
Well, what do you care? You're in love with a nice, eligible young man. Pretty soon, you'll be able to kiss all this goodbye. Tell me, what's he like? Tell me all about him. I love to suffer.
Well?
Is he tall?
So-so.
So-so 6 feet? So-so 5 feet?
Oh, I never measured.
Color of hair? Color of eyes?
Sandy hair. Not really light, not really dark.
And the eyes?
Bluish-greenish.
Brownish?
A little.
Is he handsome?
You know, it's funny. At times he is, and then again, at times he's not.
Well-built?
Average.
You want a piece of good advice. Don't lose him in a crowd.
Why am I such an unconvincing liar? The fact is, I've never met him. Ever, really.
Never?
That's why I don't know if he's tall, wide, short, narrow, pink, green, or even what his name is.
You mean all this fuss is just for a blind date? My God, you're even more desperate than I am.
It's not a blind date. I know him.
How?
Letters. Many, many letters.
You belong to a Lonely Hearts Club?
I had never done that sort of thing before. I'd seen the advertisements in the papers.
Well, who hasn't? Young man wants young lady. Young lady wants young man.
But I'd never taken them seriously. Until one day I saw his advertisement. Even then, I tried not to answer it really, but it just kept calling out to me.
He could be 75.
No. The advertisement says young man.
You haven't even asked for a photograph?
I don't know his name or what he looks like, but I have a much more certain guide. I can tell exactly what he looks like inside. When I undertook this correspondence, little did I know I'd grow so fond. Little did I know our views would so correspond. He writes me what his feelings are on Shaw, Flaubert, Chopin, Renoir. The more I read, the more I find we're one in mind, in heart. I know the kind of home we'd share, the books, the prints, the music there, a home, a life that's warm and full and rich in love and art. I don't need to see his handsome profile. I don't need to see his manly frame. All I need to know is in each letter, each long revealing letter. I couldn't know him better if I knew his name. Oh, I know him so well, Ilona. I know that he's a very successful person and terribly well educated, and he's gentle and kind and soft-spoken. I know all this about him and so much more. I've just never met him. That's all.
If he isn't too handsome, true, it doesn't much matter. But his personal habits are more important than his looks. Supposing he snores like a locomotive, supposing he grinds his teeth, supposing he's a knuckle cracker. Good luck with your books. And another small detail that you haven't yet mentioned. I'm speaking of sex here when you're all alone. Come to think of it, maybe you're right, maybe it doesn't matter as that. Maybe I do much better myself with the library card. And a gramophone.
I don't need to see his handsome profile.
I was taken in by someone's
I don't need to see his manly frame.
I was taken in by someone's
I need to know who's in each letter.
How I could have used one long revealing letter.
I hope you do much better if I knew his name.
I knew his name.
What's in a name?
Mr. Novak, perhaps you can help me.
Yes, sir?
I'm looking for the Christmas decorations. I don't see them.
Well, we haven't started them yet. I was going to talk to you about it in a day or two.
I am sick and tired of you running to me like a baby on every little matter that comes up.
Mr. Marichek, that's not fair.
Excuse me, George. Kindly inform all the employees they'll have to stay late tonight. Now, is that clear? Even to you?
Yeah, it's perfectly clear, but I'm afraid I can't stay. I have an appointment.
Excuse me?
I can stay tomorrow night, Thursday night, Friday.
That won't be necessary. I assure you, we'll get on splendidly without you. Thank you. That's all.
That's not all, Mr. Marichek. For the past month, I can't seem to do anything right. Everything has changed. What is it? Is it you? Is it me? If my work is bad now, it's been bad for the last 15 years. Why the hell did you wait until now to start telling me?
How dare you raise your voice in this shop? Clumsy idiot.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
I had to stop that argument before you did something foolish like resigning.
Well, I'm not so sure I appreciate that.
Oh, I didn't do it for you, George. I did it for me. Who knows? If you resign, your successor might take one look at me and ask himself, what's that oaf doing in this fancy perfumery?
You are a very good clerk, Ladislav.
I'm an idiot. But at least I'm an idiot with a job. Call me fool, that's all right with me. Here's my rule, never disagree. Where's my pride? Swallowed long ago, deep inside, where it doesn't show. Bowing, scraping, nodding, beaming, always humble, not an ounce of self-respect. Yes, sir, you're so right, sir. Black is white, sir. Excuse me while I genuflect. How do I remain so calm and cheerful? How do I retain my peace of mind? Let me just explain my rationale. It's all in your perspective. Listen to an old Hungarian philosophy. I am only one of several in a rather small perfumery, which is only one of several in this city, which is one of many cities in this country, which is only one of many countries which are on this continent, which is only one of 7 on this not-so-special planet, which is one of many in our solar system, which is only one of many solar systems in this vast and inconceivable affair that is the universe. So in this infinite, incomprehensible scheme, if a dot called Marichek should scream at a speck called seat posts, what on earth does it matter? So call me fool, that's all right with me. Here's my rule, never disagree. Where's my pride? Swallowed long ago, deep inside, where it doesn't show. Just maintain a true perspective, and it's easy to avoid a clash of wills. Just maintain a true perspective and make sure you're well supplied with stomach pills. Let me put it bluntly, I'm a coward with a wife and children to support. Actually, my creed is short and simple. 5 essential words, George. Do not lose your job.
Miss Ritter. Miss Ritter.
What?
This is going to be a charge. Here is the lady's name.
Oh, just a name after such a long conversation? No telephone number?
I don't need it. She's got mine.
Oh, now that I have you all here, Miss Balish, Mr. Marichek wants everyone to stay late tonight.
Why?
To work on Christmas decorations, all right?
I guess so.
Of course. Good day, madam. May I help you?
Mr. Novak. Mr. Novak, I can't stay.
Why?
I have a date. Ugh, you know I have a date.
I don't know such thing.
How can you say that? Why do you think I'm wearing these new clothes? To trim a tree in?
I'm only following Mr. Marichek's instructions.
I can't stay.
You are not being very cooperative, Miss Balish.
Well, why did he have to pick this one night? Or did you pick it, Mr. Novak, because you knew I had an appointment?
Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again, madam.
You know, I find it quite depressing that anyone could hate me so much.
I do not hate you, Miss Balish, but until you came here, this was a happy, peaceful place. Now the whole atmosphere has changed. Everyone is cranky. Mr. Marichek's on the warpath.
That's not my fault.
The Mona Lisa's coming out the wrong end of the tubes.
And that's not my fault. Is it?
You've been filling them.
According to your instructions.
What? Can we not fight about this? Can we have a truce?
Anytime, Mr. Novak. After all, you're always the one who starts things.
Oh, I'm the one.
You have always resented me from the first day I came here, when I made you lose that bet to Mr. Marichek for 10 and 6, was it? To think that anyone could hate me so much just for 10 and 6.
That is nonsense.
Or was it your male pride that got wounded because I went over your head? Men always do seem to resent things like that.
I do not resent you, Miss Balish.
Yes, you do.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I do not resent you. But if I did, I would have very good reason. Can you deny you had not worked here 2 weeks before you started making very public, very humiliating remarks about me?
Only because you were going around calling me Miss A. Malia Balish. Miss A. Malia Balish, do you think I liked that?
Do you think I liked you criticizing my socks, my ties, my fingernails?
Much better.
That must be the rudest, most difficult, worst-tempered girl in the world.
Good day, madam. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to see lily-scented soap.
Well, Mr. Novak, hard at work as usual, I see.
Good day, ladies. May I help you?
Have you made the arrangements about tonight?
Yes, sir. Miss Ritter and Mr. Kodai and Mr. Sipos can all stay in our pad, of course.
What about Miss Balish?
She has an appointment.
An appointment? Well, I guess you could hardly prevail upon her to stay when you're not going to.
Any other night, Mr.
There seem to be a great many things, Mr. Novak, that interest you far more than your position here.
Mr. Marichek, I am devoted to this shop. I could not work harder if I owned it.
If you owned it! Let me tell you something, my young friend. No matter what you do, you will never get your hands on this shop. Never. Not if I have to come down from heaven and stop you myself. Is that clear?
Yes, perfectly clear.
Now, get away from me. Just get away.
Oh, I will get away, and permanently.
Can I take that as your resignation, Mr. Novak?
That is exactly what it is.
Very well. I accept it. Effective immediately. Miss Ritter will have your final pay.
Excuse me, is this the large size or the medium size?
The large size.
Well, then show me the medium, and I haven't got all day.
Yes, madam.
I would like a cake of Castile soap and a powder puff shampoo. Is there a sale on? Let me have a hairnet bubble bath. How much do you charge for your Mona Lisa? Can you recommend?
Mr. Novak, are you leaving?
Well, it should be good news for you, Miss Balish. Very good news. I won't be arguing with you anymore. I've just quit my job.
Why?
Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't have much choice.
I don't know what to say.
Then don't say anything. Especially not that you're sorry. Let's not end our relationship on that false note. Goodbye, Miss Balish.
Mr. Novak, may the condemned woman have one last word? I never wished you harm. Ever. Oh, you've got to believe that.
I believe you, Miss Polish, and may I say, I sincerely hope you marry a very nice man and have many children. And for the sake of my successor in this job, I hope it's soon!
You have a lotion good for soothing sensitive skin.
Goodbye, Joe.
How much do you
Marriage checks won't be the same without you. Sorry to see you go.
Something rather chic, but
If I could ever help,
that will make the
let me know.
wine that I'm after. Do you have a lipstick guaranteed kiss-proof coconut?
Goodbye, Joe.
Vanishing cream and a bottle of
I wish there were time for a proper farewell. But for now, good luck and goodbye, George. So long, please keep in touch. Do keep in touch, won't you?
Will he like me when we meet? Will the shy and quiet girl he's going to see be the girl that he's imagined me to be? Will he like me? Will he like the girl he sees? If he doesn't, will he know enough to know that there's more to me than I may always show? Will he like me? Will he know that there's a world of love waiting to warm him? How I'm hoping that his eyes and ears won't misinform him. Will he like me? Who can say? How I wish that we could meet another day. It's absurd for me to carry on this way. I'll try not to. Will he like me? He's just got to. When I am in my room alone and I write, thoughts come easily, words come fluently then. That's how it is when I'm alone. But tonight, there's no hiding behind my paper and pen. Will he know that there's a world of love waiting to warm him? How I'm hoping that his eyes and ears won't misinform him. Will he like me? I don't know. All I know is that I'm tempted not to go. It's insanity for me to worry so. I'll try not to. Will he like me? He's just got to. Will he like me? Will he like me?
Marachek, may I help you? Oh, yes, one moment, please. Mr. Marachek, it's for you.
I'll take it in my office.
Ladislav, have you got a pack of icicles over there?
I don't see any.
Would you please ask Mr. Kodai if he's got them?
Miss Ritter would like to know if you've got her icicles.
Icicles. Please tell her that is all I've been getting from her for several weeks.
He says that's...
I heard him. Why else would I be laughing so uncontrollably?
Sipos, what do you think of a woman who goes with a man, tells him she loves him, and then suddenly drops him?
Before you answer that, Ladislav, what do you think about a man who cancels 3 dates with a girl in a little over a week?
A little over a week?
8 days.
I don't recall 3 dates.
You don't recall anything. You never did.
You are so wrong. Ilona, I recall our evenings together. I recall them very well. Our private little booth at the Rathskeller. Remember? Come on, Ilona.
No.
Let's go there tonight. You always loved the Rathskeller, the Chinese food, the gypsy fortune teller, and that rumba band. Ilona, come with me, Ilona. I've missed you so much.
Oh, God, no.
How I envy you each evening when work is through, for I have only me to be with while you have you.
No.
Without you, Ilona, how cold my lonely life has grown. Are you happy alone, Ilona? Ilona, my own.
Now that Kodai is hard at play, we'll never get out of here till New Year's Day. So happy New Year.
Come with me, Ilona.
No.
Come with me, Cherry. Oh, mistletoe, I long for someone. Please tell me who, like some divining rod, it points straight to you. Remember, Ilona, those sunny nights we knew before. If you just say the word, Ilona, we'll know them once more.
If it was only up to me, guess who I would hang upon the Christmas tree?
This is where I came in, amen. The fox and the chicken are a team again.
Together, Ilona, we generate a spark that's rare. White and night at its there, Ilona, you feel it, I know. Let's help it to glow.
You really are a rat. All right, we'll go to the Rathskeller together, but you better have plenty of money, because I'm starved. Or is it going to be Dutch, as usual?
No. My treat.
You can all go home now. Go home.
But the work isn't finished yet, sir.
We'll have to do it some other time.
Oh, speaking for myself, Mr. Marachek, I wouldn't mind staying a little longer. You see, I'm in the rhythm of it now.
No, I want everyone out as quickly as possible.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Marachek.
It's only 9:30.
9:30.
Arpad.
What?
Good news.
What?
You've been reprieved. Mr. Marichek says we can go.
Oh, you're all ready. I'll just get my things. Arpad, can you get them for me?
Ilona, this is going to be a bit difficult to explain, but I'm afraid I won't be able to take you to the Rathskeller after all.
What?
I can't help myself. Darling, the fact is, I thought we were going to be working late tonight, so I canceled the previous appointment. But now that we're finished early, I've just got to keep it. You do understand, don't you, darling? Oh, trust me. I promise you, we'll go to the Rathskeller another night soon. Let's see, tonight is Tuesday. Wait. What about next Monday? Ilona? Sherry?
I resolve not to be so stupid.
Will you keep Monday night open for me, darling?
I resolve not to play these games.
All right, sweetheart.
How often I've been a sitting duck for Cupid. How often I've let him shoot me down in flames.
Sweetheart, say it's all right.
I resolve not to be so trusting. It's high time that I awoke. Whatever I've got up here, it's up here rusting. My feminine intuition is a joke. I must be cousin to a cat. I always wind up with a rat. I'm through with momentary thrills. I find I can't afford the bills. I resolve, come what may, I will not be this girl one more day. I resolve not to be so brainless. I resolve not to be so dumb. My usual brush with love is far from painless. And suddenly I have got to know how come. I resolve not to blame the others just because I'm an easy mark. I want to know why I never meet their mothers. Where men are concerned, I'm always in the dark. I must stop thinking with my skin. I will not be a mandolin that someone strums and puts away until he gets the urge to play. I resolve here and now I will be a different girl somehow.
Vladislav.
George!
I have to talk to you. Will you come with me to the Cafe Imperial? It's urgent.
The Cafe Imperial?
She will be sitting there all alone.
Your lady friend, the one who writes the letter.
Yes. And on the table in front of her will be a copy of Anna Karenina with a rose in it, and I would have a rose here.
Oh, that's a very romantic picture, George. Very romantic. Except for one thing.
One thing?
What am I doing there?
Oh, I need you to give her this letter, which explains I've been called out of town on urgent business, but I will write to her as soon as possible.
She won't be disappointed?
She would be more disappointed if she saw me the way that I am tonight. Will you give her this for me?
Well, of course I will.
Please, we must hurry. For all I know, she got tired of waiting and left long ago.
Mr. Keller,
Mr. Marichek?
come in, please.
Do we talk here?
Everyone's gone.
Well, as I told you on the phone, sir, we completed our investigation.
Yes. Who sent this to me?
I'm afraid we don't know that. Anonymous letters are difficult to track down, but we have checked its contents. As you'll see, we've been following Mrs. Marichek, and there's no doubt she's involved with one of your clerks, just as the letter said.
There's no doubt.
I'm sorry, sir.
No, I've known all along. I just had to be sure.
She's been going to his apartment, number 17 Court Street. Each visit is listed. Would you care to have us do an investigation of Mr. Kodai?
Who?
Well, that's his name, Stephen Kodai.
No,
Stephen Kodai, number 17 Court Street, second...
Kodai? It's just that he hardly knows Mrs. Marichek, and there's another clerk here, a clerk who has been to our house many times. I thought, naturally,
If you'll read the report, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Will there be anything else? I'll be saying good night.
Good night, Mr. Keller.
Yes. Good night, sir.
Marichek here. Hello, love. Yes, I know. You'll be out late then. I see. Well, give her my best. No, I just feel a little tired. Of course. Of course. No, I won't wait up. So do I. Bye-bye.
Mr. Marichek? Mr. Marichek? Don't! Don't, Mr. Marichek!
Butterfingers, do that again. That's the end of your career. How do you do, sir? How do you do, madam? Don't you know we tried to preserve a romantic atmosphere? Good to see you again, Mr. List. That's what all our patrons expect. So every jarring note will be ruthlessly checked. Gently does it try to preserve a romantic atmosphere. Think of all the love affairs we assist. What more noble calling is there than ours? Tending each new beautiful bud of love, making sure each delicate seedling flowers. Treat each tryst and rendezvous as your own, bearing in mind the gravity of your task. All these lovers want is one shining hour. Is that such a terrible lot? Eh? Shh! Look around and see for yourself the romantic atmosphere.
Victor?
Stephanie.
That's what all our patrons demand. That's the reason why they're here.
Victor.
Hugo.
They all come here just for the mood. And if you don't believe me, try tasting our food. That's why we have got to preserve a romantic atmosphere. I see you.
What do you say? Take it slow. Go to the car. I'm saying the geese are in the rack. Come back inside.
guess I don't think this is the proper way to tango.
Such behavior won't be allowed. But every now and then we just get the wrong crowd. Gently does it try to preserve a romantic
Where's the rose? Huh? The rose, where is it?
Oh.
That's a rose.
It's been in my pocket all day.
Let me have it.
Oh, no.
You've gone this far, go the rest of the way.
No. Just give her the letter, please, and thank you, Ladislav. I really appreciate it.
Wait, at least take a look at her.
You look.
Nope.
She's old. She's old and ugly and toothless, isn't she?
I wouldn't say so.
Well, there must be something wrong with her, terribly wrong.
Why?
I can see it in your face.
No, the fact is she's a very attractive girl.
She really is?
Absolutely.
But will I think so?
Of course, that's a matter of personal taste. Let's see. Who does she look like?
Some film star.
No. Let me think. More than anyone else, I'd say she looks like someone in the shop.
In our shop?
As a matter of fact, you know who? Miss Balish. She looks very much like her.
Miss Amalia Balish? But I thought you said attractive.
Well, I think so, but if you don't care for Miss Balish, you're certainly not gonna like this girl.
They're that similar?
See for yourself.
You're just gonna leave her there?
What do you suggest, huh? What? Did I tell her I'm the poor fool who's written all those letters? She would make me the laughingstock of the entire city.
How? She wrote some too. Dear friend, I took you out of the box. I cut you open and so on.
It's impossible.
What?
She did not write those letters. She couldn't have.
So you think it's just a coincidence? She just happens to like this cafe. She just happens to be reading Anna Karenina. She just happens to be using a rose as a bookmark in December.
But it's Miss Bolish. I can't be in love with Miss Bolish.
How do you know until you try?
I know her. There's some mistake, Ladislav. There's got to be.
Well, then, talk to her. Find out.
No, she's not, dear friend. She's not. She can't be. Can she?
Ah!
Miss Bolish.
Mr. Novak, what are you doing here?
Celebrating? How about you?
I'm waiting for someone.
Oh, anyone in particular?
Yes, of course. What kind of a girl do you think I am? Oh, never mind, Mr. Novak. I know.
May I sit down for a minute?
No, I'm afraid not.
You won't help me celebrate?
Celebrate?
My freedom, Miss Bolish, just think of it. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and I can sleep in as late as I like.
No, Mr. Novak, I told you that chair happens to be reserved.
You won't have just one quick drink with me?
No, I can't.
One small farewell drink?
If it's very small and very quick.
Thank you, Miss Bolish.
All right. All right.
Well, here's to Marichek's Parfumery and all the people who work there. And all the people who used to work there, and all the customers.
And that covers everything.
Ooh, good wine.
Mr. Novak, are you spying on me?
Spying?
Did you come here to make sure I really had a date and that I wasn't just inventing an excuse not to work tonight?
Miss Bolish, who would I be spying for? Marichek?
Mr. Novak, if you do not leave this table immediately, I'm going to have to call for the waiter.
Yes, madam.
There you are.
May I put a word in, just one little word? The Cafe Imperial is a rendezvous for lovers. Look around you. We try to preserve a romantic atmosphere. And I find it very difficult, madam, when you and your husband insist on fighting right in the middle of it. Can't you argue at home?
No, this is not my husband. This is a business associate.
Well, talk business. Someplace else.
You say you're meeting someone here, someone you've known very long.
Mr. Novak, will you leave?
It just doesn't seem right for a man to keep a girl waiting all alone in such a public place.
Will you please leave?
Even if he is an old friend. A dear friend.
I don't wish to discuss this with you, Mr. Novak.
What is the name of that tune? My mother used to sing it when I was a baby.
So did mine.
Miss Bolish, do you realize we've just found something in common? At one time, we were both infants.
Yes, but I grew up.
I believe it's called Tango Tragique.
What if he's already been here and seen us together and gone? I will never forgive you.
What is this?
No, put that back.
Anna Karenina.
Yes, it's a book. By Leo Tolstoy, a Russian. Will you put it back, please?
And what's this for?
No, that's none of your business.
Miss Bolish, could it be that you've never even met this man?
That's ridiculous.
Of course it is. And yet, you know, some girls and some men do make appointments with strangers, and sometimes, it turns out rather well. And on the other hand, sometimes it turns out not so well. I remember a girl I used to know. She was writing to someone through Lonely Hearts Club. They corresponded for some time, then decided to meet up. I seem to recall she was to have a flower in her book, and he was to have that same flower in his lapel. And they did recognize each other, I guess. The next day, The police found her left leg floating in the Danube. And you know, they never did find the rest of her. Or her book.
At the count of 5, I'll scream. So you'd better go, and soon. 1.
I just want to talk to you.
Don't forget I've had some wine and nothing to eat since noon.
2. Miss Balish, are you intoxicated?
Dante once described all the depths of hell. If I have my way, you will know them well. 3.
Miss Balish.
You are easily the most insensitive man alive.
I'm surprised at
I'm
you.
sorry, but I'm fighting for my life. 4. 4.5. Will you go? Then 5.
Are you trying to ruin me, lady? I warn you, get out. That's all, get out.
Now, wait a minute.
You two, get out.
You don't understand.
Screaming like lunatics, that's all, get out.
How dare you speak to a lady that way?
Ladies don't scream in cafes.
Well, I'm afraid you don't quite understand. You see, there was a fly in the wine.
What?
I said a fly in the wine!
Where is it? Show it to me.
Oh, I'm afraid that's quite impossible. You see, the lady here swallowed it.
What?
Wouldn't you scream?
Good God.
Really? Mr. Novak, no matter how much you might despise me or how unhappy you are, haven't you had enough revenge? I don't understand you.
How could you, Miss Balish? You have never listened to me. You have never really looked at me.
Oh, how wrong you are, Mr. Novak. I'm looking at you now. Shall I tell you what I see? A smug, pompous, petty tyrant. Very sure of himself and very ambitious, but I see him 10 years from now selling shampoo. And 20 years from now selling shampoo. And 30 years from now still selling shampoo, because basically, do you know what he is? Just a not very smart, not very handsome, not very young man with balding hair and the personality of a python. Oh, Mr. Novak, I didn't mean all those things. Mr. Novak!
Don't call him. He'll come back. It's almost closing time.
Closing time? No. I'm still waiting for someone. He'll have a rose in his lapel.
To match the one in your book?
Mm-hmm.
How late is he?
Over 2 hours?
You're a very patient young lady.
Oh, I have waited for him all my life. What's 2 hours?
This one is on the house for luck.
Oh, thank you. You know, this is a very nice cafe.
We try to preserve a romantic atmosphere. Uh-huh.
The flowers, the linen, the crystal I see were carefully chosen for people like me. The silver agleam and the candles aglow, your favorite songs on request, each colorful touch in the finest of taste. And notice how subtly the tables are spaced. The music is muted, the lighting is low. wonder I feel so depressed. Charming, romantic, the perfect cafe. Then, as if it isn't bad enough, a violin starts to play. Candles and wine, tables for two. But where are you, dear friend? Couples go past me, I see how they look. So discreetly sympathetic when they see the rules and the book. I make believe nothing is wrong. How long can I pretend? Please make it right. Don't break my heart. Don't let it end, dear friend.
We're closing up.
So soon.
It looks like your friend didn't get here.
I'm sure there's a very good reason.
Then he'll write to you, and you can patch it up. And I hope you'll be very happy.
Thank you. Will you tell me something? You've seen so many of these cases. Does it ever happen that the girl is here and the young man arrives and looks at her secretly and just goes away? Without explaining or writing, does that ever happen?
Sometimes. And sometimes she looks at him and she goes away.
How heartbreaking that must be.
Well, you don't have to worry. You're a nice, presentable girl. Not a beauty contest winner. But you should see some of the others.
I make believe nothing is wrong. How long can I pretend? Please make it right. Don't break my heart. Don't let it end, dear
I'm back.
Good. You can take this away, thank you.
Well, I did everything you told me to.
You went to the shop.
Here's the key.
What did you tell them about last night?
That you shot yourself accidentally. You were cleaning your gun.
Good.
Then I delivered your message to Mr. Novak. Well, that is, I left it with his landlady. He was out.
Very good.
Oh, there's something else. Miss Bolish is sick. Her mother called us. She won't be in today, and that's everything.
Arpad, you're a credit to your profession.
Thank you, Mr. Marichek. You know, I'm not afraid of responsibility. I welcome it. In fact, I'd welcome a lot more.
I'll keep it in mind.
And I can't help thinking Christmas is almost here. All that Christmas shopping, we're going to be very short-handed in the shop.
We'll have to manage.
But one more clerk would certainly come in handy.
What is it? You know someone who wants a job?
Mr. Marichek, you've got to stop thinking of me as just a delivery boy. In a suit with a tie, I look old. And I've been training myself to be a sales clerk, training hard for 2 years.
What, you've been training?
I have trained myself, going shelf by shelf, and I know every item in the store, every tube, jar, box, bottle, carton, and container, where they are, what they cost, what they're for. Although it's something you have never thought about, Mr. Marichek, try me. You need a man who knows the business inside out, Mr. Marichek. Try me. You need help, or I'd have never spoken. And why break someone in when I'm already broken? In this emergency, I wouldn't let you down, Mr. Marichek. Try me. Oh, I can see by the uncertain way you frown that you've asked yourself, why me? For first-class clerking and conscientious working, Mr. Marichek, why not try me?
All right. This cream is sour, very sour. Take it back.
You wish to return this jar, madam? Certainly right you are, madam. You say it smells like a drowned cat. Oh, it does at that. At Marichek's, madam, we claim with pride, the customer must be satisfied. The customer must be satisfied. Oh, by the way, we have a special sale on autumn heather. Let me spray some on your hand. Here, we'll smell it together. It has the 3 elements of good perfume: attractive to the nose, invisible to the eye, and functional. My wife has used it time and again. It's very appealing to us men. I use it myself every now and then.
I'll take it.
Certainly, madam. Oh, Miss Ritter. Miss Ritter. That's 20 and 6 for the autumn heather, 8 and 3 for the cream, 32 even for that bottle of Mermaid's Dream, 1 and 3 for the eyebrow pencil, 9 for the large shampoo, and then for the jar you're bringing back, that's 4 and 2 for you. That's a total of 98 less 4 and 2 for the jar. Out of 100, cha-ching. Here's your change, 5 and 2. There you are, the biggest sale in several years, I believe. Thank you, madam. Please call again. Glad I could help. Here is my card. Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again. Madam. I would gladly grow a mustache if you'd like, Mr. Marichek. Try me. I would even think of giving up my bike, Mr. Marichek. Try me. For first-class clerking and conscientious working, Mr. Marichek, why not try me?
Very impressive. You even managed to shortchange me.
Mr. Marichek!
Oh, George.
What happened? He shot himself accidentally. He was cleaning his gun.
Arpad, will you please leave us alone?
Are you in very much pain, Mr. Marichek?
The only place that doesn't hurt me is my shoulder where I shot myself.
Is there anything I can do?
First, I have to do something very important. If I could stand up, you know what I'd do? I'd walk over and take you by the hand and beg you to forgive me.
I forgive you, Mr. Marichek. Whatever happened, why ever it happened, I don't care.
You can't let me off that easily. I did a terrible thing to you, and there's no excuse. Well, there's one excuse. The jealousy of an old man.
Jealousy?
Oh, George, you're still in the dark. I guess you're the only man in the world who ever had an affair without knowing it.
An affair?
You've been having an affair with my wife.
With your wife, with Mrs. Marichek?
Yes, I have all the facts.
No, but it's not true.
I know it's not true. I know now, but last week and 2 weeks ago, I didn't know.
I don't believe it, Mrs. Marichek and I. Did you really think that I would do something like...
That's just the point. I didn't think.
I can't get over it.
What, George? Starting today, if you're willing, I'd like you to take over the shop.
Well, of course I will. At least keep the doors open until you're well enough to come back.
There's the key. And now that you're the boss, if you wanted to give yourself a raise?
Well, I'll have a little talk with myself. And if I don't ask for too much, I may grant it.
The perfect executive. Now, you better get going. You'll be very short-handed today. Arpad tells me Miss Bolish isn't coming in.
Miss Bolish? Why not?
She's sick.
What's wrong with her?
He didn't say, but you'll have to manage without her and without one other clerk as well. Mr. Kodai, I want you to fire him.
Fire him?
Just give him 2 weeks' salary.
I didn't realize Mr. Kodai was so unsatisfactory. He works very hard.
But at the wrong things.
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, if you ever run into Mrs. Marichek, perhaps she'll explain it to you. And George, it looks like I'm a bachelor again, same as you. Perhaps one night you'll take me to a cabaret.
But I don't
I
go
know
to
you never go to cabarets.
I'll stop by later and I'll give you a full report.
Thank you, my boy. I'll be here.
Arpad.
Have you been thinking about me as a sales clerk?
Quite seriously. But you're so attached to your bicycle. How could you ever bear to part with it?
Well, what if I didn't part with it? Altogether, I could be half delivery boy, half clerk.
Arpad, you just made a sale.
I did?
As of right now.
Thank you, Mr. Marichek. Thank you.
And I guess we can't call you Arpad anymore. I don't think I ever knew your last name. You do have a last name?
Laszlo?
Welcome to Marichek's Mr. Laszlo.
Mr. Laszlo. Mr. Laszlo.
You better get going.
I'm on my way, and you can count on me. Goodbye, Mr. Marichek.
Goodbye, Arpad. All night, circling the floor, till dawn lit up the sky.
Who's there?
Miss Bolish?
Who is it?
Miss Bolish?
Oh, just a minute. Oh, Mr. Novak.
I was in the neighborhood.
What do you want? Did you think of something you forgot to say last night? Well, say it, please, and get it over with. I'm not feeling very well today.
Yes, I know you're not. That's why I'm here.
You knew I was sick? How?
Well, this may come as quite a shock to you, Miss Bolish, but the fact is I'm back at Marichek's again.
Back at Marichek's?
As of this morning.
And you've come here to see if I'm really sick. Is that it?
No!
So that you can tell everyone there's not a thing wrong with me.
No,
Then I just don't care about my job.
No!
Well, Mr. Novak, you are not going to have that chance. What time is it? I won't be very late. Oh, where's my other shoe? Help me find my other shoe. Don't just stand there like that. Where's my shoe?
I think you should lie down.
Help me find my shoe. I can't leave until I do. Will you give me my hat? Where's my shoe?
Please, Miss Bolish, lie down.
I hate to disappoint you. Now that you've got your hopes up, for real to be doing something mean.
Miss Bolish, do be sensible.
Just tell me if it's called out. Come let me pick a sweater. I can't decide on white or green.
Now, Miss Polish, you're sick and you ought to lie
Where'd you
down.
put my shoe? That's a sneaky thing to do. You don't want me to go, do you? I can see right through you. Where's my shoe?
You shouldn't be on your feet.
Where's my shoe?
Be a good girl and go back to...
If I were a shoe, where would I have gotten to? Well, if I were a shoe, I'd be there.
Please, Miss Polish, lie
Is it
down.
very cold? Yes, you told me it was cold. Tell me, what kind of dress should I wear?
You had fever, I
I
think.
couldn't wear a sweater. That wouldn't suit my mood now. I feel like wearing something gay.
Miss Polish, you're hysterical.
I'm feeling so much better. I feel so gay and giddy. What should we all be on my way?
You are going to bed, which is where you
Oh,
belong.
see? There is nothing wrong with me. I am going. You can't stop me. Stop it. Now please drop me.
No, you're not leaving this room. You're going nowhere but back to I've brought you something.
What?
Here, see for yourself.
What is it?
Vanilla ice cream. It's the best thing in the world when you're sick.
Oh, it's from Lindner's. My mother works at Lindner's. She may have waited on you.
A small, stout woman?
Oh, no, the image of me, everyone says, only much younger looking. There's something wrong with this ice cream.
There is.
There's so much salt.
What? Are you surprised? All those tears falling into it?
Oh, I better cry in the other direction.
Why cry at all?
How little you understand, Mr. Novak. I'm like a rag doll. Somebody's kicked out the stuff.
Oh, no. You'll soon fill up again, good as new.
You're looking at a very disillusioned girl, Mr. Novak.
You know, Miss Polish, I will never forgive myself for last night at the cafe. I must have been drunk.
But strangely enough, you were right, Mr. Novak. When you guessed that I had never met the man I was waiting for, he was just someone who had been writing letters to me. Such glorious letters.
And he never showed up.
I waited until closing.
I feel very responsible.
No, it wasn't just you, Mr. Novak. There could have been so many reasons, but if he cared at all, he would have explained. He would have written a letter or a note, 2 words, something.
Miss Polish, he will write.
I don't think so.
Oh, no, he will. I'm not just guessing. I know it definitely.
How?
He told me himself.
He? Himself?
Yes, dear friend, no one else.
Dear friend? When? How? Oh, tell me, Mr. Novak, tell me.
Well, let's see now. When I left the cafe last night, I had the oddest feeling that someone was following me, and I kept looking back, and there was
A young man.
a man. And when I was almost home, he came up and he started asking questions about you and me.
Oh, what sort of questions?
Exactly what you would expect.
No. I want to know the words he said.
I'm not very good at remembering exact words, so...
Try. Please.
Well, let's see. I think the first thing he said was, "Excuse me, but I'd like to ask you a question." Or something like that. And then he said, "Did you just leave the Cafe Imperial? Do you want to know what I said, too?"
Of course.
All right, I said yes.
Oh. And then?
He said, "Tell me, tell me, that girl that you were sitting with, is she a special friend of yours? Those are his exact words. Special friend? I said, no. We just work at the same shop together. As a matter of fact, she has an appointment with someone else tonight. Oh. I'm remembering very clearly now. and then I remember he suddenly looked quite sad.
He looked sad.
Quite sad, and then he said, I know she has an appointment, and it was me, but I have to take the next train out of town on urgent business.
Urgent business. Is he a manufacturer, do you think, or a shop owner?
It's hard to say. He certainly looked well-fed.
Well-fed?
To judge by appearances. Of course, that's not unusual in a man his age. You have some wonderful books here, Miss Polish. Oh, the red and the black. I've been so anxious to read this. I wonder, can I borrow it sometime?
What?
Can I borrow this? I promise to return it.
What do you mean, a man his age?
I beg your pardon?
You said not so unusual in a man his age. How old is he?
Oh. Well, you realize it was a dark night. And he'd had an exhausting day, emotionally at any rate. I would guess his age at 6, 7. It's hard to say, very. Possibly if he had some hair. Have you read The Magic Mountain?
What?
The Magic Mountain. I bought it for myself for my birthday. I'll lend it to you if you'd like.
Is he completely bald?
Does that matter? I thought you said you were in love with him.
Oh, I am in love with him, Mr. Novak. I am. It's just that I thought, well, I'd hoped. I am so ashamed of myself. As if appearances made a difference. The important thing is the letters. Just think of all the immortal works of art, the rapturous love stories that were written by elderly men. Bald men. Fat men. With indigestion and terrible tempers. But inside, they had the magic. And that is a glory beyond estimation.
You put it very well, Miss Polish.
I feel very well, Mr. Novak. I feel marvelous. Thank you so much for coming here today. Thank you for my life. I'm going to write to him this very minute, so we'll have a letter waiting. But I won't mention you, as that might be embarrassing.
Yes, I would appreciate that. I should get back to the shop.
Yes, I'll follow as soon as I've written the letter.
Oh, no, that's not necessary. You take the rest of the day off, relax. Read a book. Have you finished Anna Karenina yet?
Oh, yes, a long time ago.
Oh. Well, so did I, but it's remarkable how it stays with me. Every station platform with a train puffing in is Anna's platform, wherever it may be, and I can see her. I can actually see her come out of the crowd and walk slowly toward her death. I've even tried to stop her a few times, but she always vanishes in the smoke and steam.
Mr. Novak, how odd. Oh, how very odd. You know, in one of his letters. Oh, no, I wish I could show it to you.
You mean dear friends had the same experience?
More than once.
Well, goodbye, Miss Ballas.
Goodbye. Wait, Mr. Novak. May I tell you something quite sincerely? I like you. Mr. Novak, really. I like you.
Thank you, Miss Ballas. Mm-hmm. I'll see you in the morning.
In the morning. Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way. But together, you and I will laugh at last night someday. Ice cream. He brought me ice cream, vanilla ice cream. Imagine that. simply start. Wonders never cease. Wonders never cease. It's been the most peculiar day. Wonders never cease. Wonders never cease. So, where was I? I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way, but together you and I will laugh at last night someday. I sat there waiting in that cafe and never guessing that you were fat. Ooh. That you were near. You were outside looking bald. Oh my! Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. Last night, I was so nasty. Well, he deserved it, but even so, that George is not like this George. This is a new George that I don't know. Somehow, it all reminds me of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But right before my eyes, a man that I despise has turned into a man I like. It's almost like a dream, and strange as it may seem, he came to offer me
Will wonders never cease? I didn't like her. Didn't like her. I couldn't stand her. Couldn't stand her. I wouldn't have her. I never knew her. But now I do, and I could, and I would, and I know. She loves me, and to my amazement, I love it, knowing that she loves me. She loves me, true, she doesn't show it. How could she, when she doesn't know it? Yesterday she loathed me, bah! Now today she likes me, ah! And tomorrow, ah, my teeth ache from the urge to touch her. I'm speechless, for I mustn't tell her. It's wrong now, but it won't be long now before my love discovers that she and I are lovers. Imagine how surprised she's bound to be. She loves me. She loves me. I love her. Isn't that a wonder? I wonder why I didn't want her. I want her. That's the thing that matters. And matters are improving daily. Yesterday I loathed her. Bah! Now today I love her. Ha! And tomorrow, I'm tingling, such delicious tingles. I'm trembling, what the hell does that mean? I'm freezing, that's because it's cold out. And still I'm incandescent, and like some adolescent, I'd like to scrawl on every wall I see. She loves me. She loves me.
Marichek, not so impressive. Too young and too skinny.
I think he's beautiful. Welcome back, George.
Congratulations, George.
Thank you. Excuse me, but I could use some help in there. We do have customers, you know.
Say, that reminds me. I have to have a word with Mr. Kodai.
Isn't it wonderful?
A miracle. An absolute miracle. And, a word with Mr. Kodai.
Oh, who cares about that? That's all in the past.
It is?
Ever since last night. Do you remember what a silly, confused girl I was last night?
You were?
Oh, very. I didn't know what to do or where to go. And somehow, my feet started walking down the street, across the bridge, past the Metropole Cinema, and do you know where?
Where?
Right into the library.
The library?
Can you imagine?
How did you like it?
Oh, you've never seen such a place. So many books. So much marble. And so quiet. And suddenly all of my confidence dribbled away with a pitiful plop. My head was beginning to swim and my forehead was covered with cold perspiration. I started to reach for a book and my hand automatically came to a stop. I don't know how long I stood frozen, a victim of panic and mortification. Oh, how I wanted to flee. When a kindly voice, a gentle voice whispered, "Pardon me."
Oh, pardon me.
Uh-huh. And there was this dear, sweet, clearly respectable, thickly bespectacled man who stood by my side and quietly said to me, "Ma'am, don't mean to intrude, but I was just wondering, are you in need of some help?" I said no. Yes, I am. The next thing I know, I'm sipping hot chocolate and telling my troubles to Paul, whose tender brown eyes kept sending compassionate looks. A trip to the library has made a new girl of me, for suddenly I can see the magic of books. I have to admit, in the back of my mind I was praying he wouldn't get fresh. And all of the while I was wondering why an illiterate girl should attract him. Then all of a sudden he said I couldn't go wrong with The Way of All Flesh. Of course it's a novel, but I didn't know, or I certainly wouldn't have smacked him. Well, he gave me a smile that I couldn't resist. And I knew at once how much I liked this optometrist.
Optometrist?
Optometrist. You know what this dear, sweet, slightly bespectacled gentleman said to me next? He said he could solve this problem of mine. I said, how? He said if I'd like, he'd willingly read to me some of his favorite things. I said, when? He said, now. His novel approach seemed highly suspicious and possibly dangerous too. I told myself, wait, think, dare you go up to his flat? What happens if things go wrong? It's obvious he's quite strong. He read to me all night long. Now how about that? It's hard to believe how truly domestic and happily hopeful I feel. I picture my Paul there reading aloud as I cook. As long as he's there to read, there's quite a good chance indeed. A chance that I'll never need to open a book. Unlike someone else, someone I dimly recall, I know he'll only have eyes for me, my optometrist, Paul.
Well, I might as well tell you. Mr. Kodai is leaving us right now, Mr. Marichek's orders.
Why? I mean, it's nice, but what happened?
Well, I'm afraid I can't tell you.
Oh, I bet I know. I warned him they'd catch up with him. Do you know that half the perfume and toilet water from this shop ended up in his bathroom? I mean, he told me.
Well, incidentally, now that you're back and everything's all straightened out, I might as well tell you, I sent the anonymous letter.
Vladislav, what anonymous letter?
You didn't know? What do you think caused all the trouble? I wrote to Mr. Marichek about his wife and one of our clerks.
I can't believe you did that!
I was desperate. Business was so bad, and I thought to myself, if he fires Mr. Kodai, who deserves it, he might not fire me, who doesn't.
Do you have any idea how much trouble you've caused?
I'll regret it till the day I die, but whoever dreamed Mr. Marichek would have thought I meant you.
Well, Vladislav, I certainly hope you've learned your lesson.
Oh, I have. I have. Believe me. In the next letter, name the names.
It's not the lesson. No, the lesson is that there's not another. Miss Ritter, I'll need 2 weeks' pay from Mr. Kodai.
Oh, here it is. No, my pleasure. Good day, madam. May I help you?
Do you carry flowers of spring?
Good day, Madam Arpad.
Mr. Sipos, guess what?
What?
I'm a clerk.
Well, congratulations, Arpad.
Mr. Marichek just promoted me. Oh, and something else, I'm not Arpad anymore.
You're not? Who are you?
Mr. Laszlo.
Why Laszlo?
It's my last name.
Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again, madam.
Miss Ritter, may I present our new clerk, Mr. Laszlo?
It's true. Ask Mr. Marichek.
Oh, Arpad, how wonderful.
What's wonderful?
I'm a clerk, starting right now, a clerk.
Oh, can you believe it? Stephen Kodai, replaced by a delivery boy.
Replaced?
That's right, Arpad. I'm leaving. I've just resigned. I wouldn't stay here another minute.
You couldn't. You've just been fired.
All right. Believe that if it makes you happy. But you won't be happy for long, because any day now, that door will close for the last time, and then just take a walk over to Hammerschmidt's.
Why? It's closed.
Only temporarily, for renovations. You see, they're going to have a new owner now. Stephen Kodai.
Some owner.
Nevertheless, it's true. Ilona believes me. Don't you, darling?
Of course I do. Here's your down payment.
It's been grand knowing you, grand knowing you, grand being your friend. You've been kind, loyal, and so generous, right down to the end. Please don't grieve watching me leave. That would be much too painful to stand. It's been fun, now I must run, but it's been grand, perfectly grand. Ilona, farewell. Sherry, be brave. Chin up, it's been sublime. You mustn't waste a precious moment over me. You don't have time. Just remember when you're lonely or blue, there's a hollow in my pillow for you. And Sipos, oh, what can I say? Ah, Sipos, no tears, be gay, you know, old friend. I'm in your debt. I owe you more than I can possibly repay. I won't forget. Give your wife a little kiss from Kodai. I never met her, but I will. By and by. Though I hate leaving you, hate leaving your warm, intimate club. It's a small pleasure, but I'll treasure each warm, intimate snub. It's been grand, let me say, and let me say au revoir, not goodbye. For it's grand knowing you'll all be working for your friend. Coda!
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
Good morning, Mr. Novak.
Good morning, Miss Balish. How are you today?
Ready for thousands of customers.
Only 12 more days to go.
Christmas shopping. Thinking your shopping and still remain calm and sedate. These are the people we envy and the people that we hate. Thank you, please call again. Do call again. Thank you.
Quite a day. Hey, Mr. Novak.
Oh, it certainly was, Miss Balish.
Thank you for the book. It was excellent.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Will you be taking the bus home today, Miss Balish?
Yes, I will.
May I walk you to the bus stop?
I'd like that, Mr. Novak.
12 drummers drumming,
12 drummers drumming,
11 pipers piping, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a leaping, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9 days to Christmas, 9 days to Christmas, still enough time to do your Christmas shopping. These are the people who shop in time, still enough time, sensible people who organize the time at their disposal. 9 days to Christmas, 9 days to Christmas, still enough time to do your Christmas shopping. These are the people who plan their days wisely and well. These are the people who shop in time that they can go to hell. Thank you, please call again, do call again, thank you.
Are you in a very great hurry today, Miss Balish?
No, not at all.
I was thinking maybe a cup of coffee on the way to the bus.
I'd like that, Mr. Novak.
So would I.
8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings. 4 days to Christmas, 4 days to Christmas, just enough time to do your Christmas shopping. These are the people who shop in time, barely in time. These are the people who calculate with clinical precision. 4 days to Christmas, 4 days to Christmas, these are the folks who never waste a second. Full of a chili and efficiency, loaded with gold, never too early and never late, and they're the worst of all. Thank you, please call again, do call again, thank you.
What a day.
Just wait until the 24th.
The 24th! One day to Christmas, one day to Christmas, now we have to do our Christmas shopping. When the shop will be to time, when the shoot will off the time, when the people shop in time, run and run. These are people always say the tail such a late. Oh, one day to Christmas, one day to Christmas, how will we ever do our Christmas shopping? Why do we ever delay so long? Never call. Sometimes we may not get a Christmas gift at all. Thank you, please call again, do call again, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't,
Here it is.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad. That's at least 18 inches longer than last year.
If only every night were Christmas Eve.
Oh, I don't think I could take it. I haven't stopped for a minute.
I waited on 53 customers personally.
Too bad Mr. Marichek couldn't be here.
Well, I'll stop by the hospital tonight and I'll bring this with me. Ladislav, it's coming. She's inviting me home for Christmas Eve.
Splendid.
Why splendid? Tonight's the night she's supposed to meet dear friend.
But your dear friend.
That's just the point.
Oh, I give up. It's too complicated for me. You want to untangle it? Shoot yourself.
Amalia, my friend's coming to pick me up. Will you let me know when he gets here?
Of course. Mr. Novak, Mother and I would be so happy if you would join us for Christmas Eve.
Well, Miss Bolish...
It's a very special Christmas Eve. Do you know who's going to be there? Dear friend.
Who?
Dear friend. The man I've been corresponding with, remember?
Yes, of course, but I wouldn't want to intrude.
Intrude? You'd be helping. You've met him. You know him, and you're so alike, really. You can help me out when conversation gets too deep for me. Please, Mr. Novak?
Well, Miss Bolish, I certainly hope this isn't a mistake.
No, I know it's not.
Mr. Maricek!
Maricek!
Where else would I be Christmas Eve?
Merry Christmas, sir!
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, sir.
What? You did all that in one day?
I thought I heard your voice. Merry Christmas, Mr. Maricek.
Merry Christmas, Miss Ritter. Have you time for a drink?
Champagne? I'll make time.
Mr. Maricek, such a surprise!
Merry Christmas, Mr. Sipos. Arpad, will you bring 6 cups?
Of course.
I'll open the champagne. I love opening champagne.
How are you feeling, sir?
Fine. Excellent.
The goblets!
The champagne!
Oh, very nice.
Shall I pour?
I pour.
No. Just a little for Arpad. You can have more when you start growing facial hair.
Thank you, Mr. Maricek.
Oh, it's good to be home.
The toast, Mr. Maricek.
Christmas Eve, the shop, all of us together. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Very
come
tasty.
on.
Thank you, sir. Tell me, George, what would you say to a gala dinner? We'll go to some nice restaurant. Weber's, perhaps.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. But
Oh, but you weren't expecting me. I understand.
I've been invited by Miss Bolish.
Well, don't give it another thought, my boy. It's not important.
Is it? It looks like it is.
He's here, Miss Ritter's friend.
Isn't he handsome?
Intelligent looking.
He has beautiful eyes.
Well, he's an optometrist.
Oh.
Much better than Kodai, I'll say that.
I love the way he walks.
And that coat, that hat.
Is he rich?
I don't know.
He has dimples.
Well, that settles it. Tonight, when he asks me to marry him, I'll say yes.
Tonight? Ilona, I had no idea.
Neither does he.
Oh.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Good evening.
Well, Mr. Maricek, thank you for the champagne. And now my wife and children are waiting for me. And my wife's sister. And her children. And God knows who else. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Mr. Zebus?
Arpad.
Yes, sir?
Are you busy tonight?
No, sir.
Oh, yes, you are. You're going to Weber's.
Weber's? What is it?
Oh, George, Arpad and I are going out for a night on the town.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Miss Polish. George.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Novak.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Laszlo.
I'm going to Weber's.
So tell me, Mr. Laszlo, is there anything special you'd like for Christmas?
Well, it's too much to hope for.
Well, what is it?
I won't get it anyway.
Oh, at least tell me.
Well, what I'd really like, more than anything, is a motorcycle.
You're right, my boy. You won't get it.
Oh, here, let me help you with those.
Oh.
A cigarette box.
I know you hate them, but I happen to like them. And I thought as a gift for dear friend.
What if he's not a smoker?
He likes music.
And it's just a box. You know, Miss Bolish, I don't hate these boxes nearly as much as I used to. In fact, I wouldn't mind owning one myself.
Oh, you wouldn't?
If only to remind me of the first day you came here, remember? I'll never forget it. Oh, what kind of box, madam? It's a candy box and it's functional.
I was so terrified and you were so awful. Did I really sound like that?
You sounded irresistible. As a matter of fact, I remember thinking to myself, well, that's the kind of girl I could almost fall in love with.
But you were so awful.
I know.
And you never said anything.
How could I? I knew how you felt.
No, you didn't. You didn't really, because I was attracted to you. More than attracted.
As awful as I was.
What a shame you never spoke up.
And you.
Who knows what might have been?
I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way, but together you and I will have the last nights. Someday.
Dear friend, it's really true then. It's what I'd hoped for, that it was you.
Dear friend, I had to tell you I couldn't stand it until you knew. 2 weeks, I've known for 2 weeks. I was so tempted, I didn't dare. I wanted you to know. I thought you might have guessed. I couldn't wait another day.
To find out more about She Loves Me and other Great Performances programs, visit pbs.org/greatperformances. Find us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.